Y'all, y'all, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Helping Humanity Evolve, y'all. My name is Jose. Listen, it's Sunday, y'all, April 20th. Happy 420. Happy 420, everybody. I'll put one in the air for y'all. We love y'all, bro. Um, Listen, it's 7:54 p.m., y'all, Central. Um, Happy 420. It's been, I was resting today, y'all. So real quick, let me give a shout out, man. Shout out to my subscribers. I love y'all, man. Shout out to Source. I love you guys. You hear me? Shout out to my ancestors. Shout out to my archangels, my angel guys, my demon guys, my spirit guys. I love y'all, bro. Shout out to the universe. Shout out to the Galactic Federation. Shout out Trippy Everything. I fucking love y'all, bro. You hear me? So I ain't even go look for the message today or nothing, bro. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I was sleeping, bro. I slept all day, bro. I slept all day, bro. Oh, listen to me. I slept all day, bro. My ass was knocked out. I woke up this morning, I don't know, about 9:30. I think it was 9:30. I woke up and I said, yo, I want to go make my mixtape, bro. So I came in the studio and I made the mixtape, bro. It's 2.5 hours, bro. I made the mixtape and then I uploaded the mixtape and then I went to sleep, bro. I was tired, I went to sleep, bro. And then I woke up, I went out, we went out, and we just got back. And I was like, I'm gonna go in the room and watch a movie. And I started watching AXL, bro. It was about this robotic dog, bro. So I started watching this movie. I didn't finish watching it. In the middle of the movie, I said, yo, I feel like doing my live, bro. So I came in, and, you know, we're about to do it, bro. So if you got to listen to my mixtape, I gave y'all a lot of music, right? Y'all ain't know I had it in me, bro. Nobody knew I had it in me, bro. I look, I didn't even know I had it in me, bro. I just learned, bro. It's a whole. It's like I become a whole other person when I start to write and when I go in the studio and I start rapping, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different feeling. It's a different sensation. The words just seem to flow, bro. So listen, today's message comes from Z from the Confederation of Planets. The question was, why did Jesus slash Yahshua come to Earth? Right? And the description is, it's time you knew the truth about 5D. So this is gonna be a really good message, y'all. This is channeled by Sarah B. Channel. So shout out to Sarah, bro. Thank you for this channel, bro. Right? This is gonna be narrated by Z for you. And for my people, it's gonna be narrated by Yahweh and by me. Right. So I'm excited. It's gonna be good, bro. It's gonna be dope, bro. So I missed a couple of messages, bro. Right, because I haven't been really coming on, bro. I've been fucking around, bro. but I gave you a partial message in my mixtape in the intro. I gave you guys a partial message, and I was gonna give you the full message here, but they gave us a new one. So maybe I'll go back to that message, right? And maybe I won't. Maybe you gotta figure it out, right? So it's another beautiful day on planet Earth, right? You know, we steadily making progress on the journey. We're making progress in spirituality. We're making progress in life. I'm happy. I'm very happy all around with the progress I've achieved, and I'm very happy with the progress I see moving forward. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back. You're doing a good job, bro. Right? Because this is not easy. So we doing what we do, bro. Y'all can see my focus. When you focus on something, you can really do it. You can really do it, bro. You just have to focus on it. So with that said, this is how I'm able to do so many different things because I know how to just focus on that one thing at a time, right? So while I'm focused on doing this live, I'm not focused on nothing else. I'm not thinking about nothing else, bro. I'm focused on the live. I'm focused on the information. I'm focused on teaching. And when I focus on writing, that's what I focus on, bro. I focus on writing, and when I come in the studio, I focus on using my voice. You know what I'm saying? And when I get in front of my television, I focus on performing for you. So, I place all my focus into these things, and this is the magic of what comes out of practice. This is what comes out of practice, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I went on a journey. I went on a journey yesterday. Uh, I went on an LSD journey. I did not do a mushroom journey. I'm holding back the mushroom journey. Right. I'm gonna take it in 2 weeks. I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna take it soon. Um, but you already know. All my journeys, no matter what kind of journey I go on, I go somewhere, I learn something, I come back with information. And it was no different. This journey was no different, bro. This journey was different. Because Trippy dropped the video last week. Now he dropped it on Sunday. I had already took my journey. I didn't even try to take that journey, man. I just said I'm gonna wait, bro. So during the week, I listened to about an hour of it, here and there, just going back to it and listening to it, see what tracks he had. So it's an ambient one. It's an ambient video. So the sounds you guys wouldn't understand. The sounds that come with this video require a connection. They require your open heart, right? So that you can receive these vibrations. So with that said, I did take this journey with the sounds, the original sounds. I did it for about an hour and a half, and it came out beautiful, bro. I love the way it came out, bro. Now, as far as you, right? As far as you guys won't really comprehend the video. You won't understand the sounds. You won't understand what we're doing. You know, for me to explain it is very, very difficult. I have to show you. I have to show you, bro. Showing is the best way, bro. The visuals kind of help you understand everything. So I could give you a little bit of what I was told. Of what was given to me. I can't give you all of it, but I can give you some of it. So with that said, we was having a party. This is like the third year that we celebrated the return to Christ, bro. This is year three, y'all. Celebrating the return to Christ every single weekend. So it was more of a celebration. When I first started this journey, I didn't listen to trippy sounds. What I did was I muted the television and I put my music on. And I was dancing to my music for like 3 hours, bro. Listen to me. For like 3 hours before I said, let me play some more trippy sounds. So I did that and I was like bouncing back and forth between the two for a while, right? And during this time, I was receiving messages. I was receiving visualizations. I was meditating and I was going to, I don't know what to call it, bro. Do you call it the 5D, bro? Like, what do you call that place, bro? I don't know what to call it. It's not the astral realms. I wasn't in the astral realms. I was somewhere different, bro. So, it wasn't my first time there, bro. I've been there before. So I just can't describe it. I can't describe it, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to describe this place, bro. What I can tell you about this place was that this was where the party was at. This is where we held the party, bro. This is where the celebration was, and we was in there and we was dancing, bro. We was singing, we was rapping, we was smoking weed, bro. Like, this shit was insane, bro. So I remember, vaguely, not vividly, vaguely. I remember vaguely, bro, because it happened so fast, bro. But I remember flying through or floating through. You could see it floating through this huge arena. It was like an arena, bro. Right, so it was filled with people. Listen to me, it was filled with all kinds of people, bro. It was filled with aliens, humans, orbs, nigga, electrical beings, cat beings, nigga, everything you name it, bro. They was in there, bro. They right, everybody was in that bitch. So, what did I get from this experience? Well, what information did you retrieve from this party? Like, what did you see? What did you do? So, I saw all these people. I saw this energy. It was a lot of energy, right? I saw this energy. I knew I was in a party. I felt like I was in a party. I felt like celebrating. I was in celebrating. I was celebrating, bro. Right. So, these are the sensations that came with this experience was celebration. So we celebrated. We celebrated. And I didn't think none of it, bro. I went about my day, bro, right? And the journey was over, right? The journey was over. I got like 50 videos. I did like 50 videos, bro. So I want to say they're preparing me for the celebration. They're preparing me for that shit, bro, right? Because, this journey was not, there was nothing negative there, bro. For, 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 for first time in a while, I was just in the moment. I was just happy, bro. I was happy. I was excited. I was joyful, bro. I didn't have no negative thoughts at all, bro. I didn't have no negative thoughts about nothing, bro. You understand? So, did I cry? Yeah, I always cry, bro. There's always a part of the journey where you just, if you got anything in there, it comes out. So, there was a point where I couldn't understand why, but I felt all this pain, bro. So, I released it, right? I felt that I released it. I started crying, bro. I cried hard, bro. I cried hard for like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes, bro. I sat right here, bro. I sat right here. And I let it out, right? And I felt better afterwards, bro. I was trying to figure out why I was crying, but right? Like, why are you crying, bro? But I didn't know. I didn't know, and I was just like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like I have to cry. So I did. So I took it as, it's one of those things where, when you go on these psychedelic journeys, it's an emotional journey. It's an emotional roller coaster, bro. So I guess no matter what, even if you're in a good mood and you're in the best spirits, you have to experience that emotion. It's part of the journey. So this is what I took it as. I didn't take it personal. I didn't take it like I had stuff I had to release. I took it as it's part of the journey. I have to release. So I released. Now, what did I release? I released Gaia's pain. I was like, wow, if I'm gonna cry, come on, Gaia, let's go. What do you have? Let's release it, bro. And I helped her. I helped her, right? And I took on that. I took that on for her, right? I told her, give me your pain, give it to me. I'm gonna transmute it and release it. So I took it, bro. I took it. I cried with it. I released it, bro. And we transmuted it, bro. And that was my choice, right? Because I couldn't figure out why I was crying. I didn't know. I was just like, oh my god, bro. So fuck it, Gaia, come here, bro. Come here. You got any pain you want to release? Come here, bro. Let me help you. Come here, cause I feel all this pain, bro. I don't, I want to transmute this shit. And that's what we did, bro. We sat there, I sat there for like 30 minutes crying, and then I got up, I wiped my tears, and I started dancing, bro. And we danced the rest of the journey. It was fun, bro. So I'm gonna tell you a funny story. This is it's personal, but this happened to me. So I came to Colorado. Right? I tried to switch I had a New Jersey license. I tried to switch my license to Colorado. They told me my license has some type of hold on it. They're from Florida, bro. So they wouldn't give me my Colorado license. So I had to figure out what happened. So I called up New Jersey. I'm like, why'd you guys suspend my license? Like, what'd I do, bro? They said, we didn't suspend it. Florida told us to do that. I said, why would Florida tell you to do that? I haven't had a Florida license in like 3 years, bro, almost 4 years. So why would they suspend my license, bro? So they're like, I don't know, you gotta call them. So I'm calling, bro. I'm calling. I can't get through to these people, bro. I I finally find an email address for them, and I emailed them. I'm like, listen, this is going on, bro. I surrendered my license to New Jersey on this day. You guys suspended my shit a month later, bro. I didn't even know. And, Florida didn't even suspend it. All they said was my license expired due to a surrender. This is the confirmation. This is what it says on the email they sent me. They said, we didn't suspend your license. We just said it expired due to a surrender in another state. So I said, so why would New Jersey suspend my license, bro? Florida didn't tell you to suspend my license, bro. So Florida tells me via email that my license does not have any sanctions. I have a clean license. They don't understand why New Jersey would do that. Right now, peep this. On the very first conversation I had with New Jersey, the lady's like, "Listen, you gotta call Florida and clear it up with them, and then go to our DMV website, pay the $100 restoration fee, and then call this number back." This is what she told me. Now I wasn't about to pay no $100 shit, bro. I didn't make that mistake. You made that mistake. You paid $100, bro. So I called New Jersey back. Listen, Florida says I got a clean license, bro. So like, why'd you suspend my license? I still don't understand, bro. She goes, give me 1 second. She comes back. She goes, you're good. I cleared it up for you. I said, but why did it happen, bro? She said, Florida told us to do it. I said, Florida said my license was surrendered to another state, which was you. You should have known that, the license, he doesn't have it anymore, bro. But, they still did what they did, bro. And they made this whole process a nightmare, bro. But long story short, it's clear that I cleared it up. I fixed it without paying a fucking dime, bro. I didn't pay them shit, bro. You understand me? But then, this is the kind of bullshit they putting me through here, bro. You understand? Like, they got me flagged in the system, right? And they just fuck with me every which way possible, bro. Every which way possible, bro. So, whatever. It's cleared up. I'm happy, right? I didn't pay a dime. I didn't pay a dime to fix it. That was their error. It was on them. It wasn't on me. So, whatever. Now, that it happened. It's over with, and I'm moving forward, right? It is what it was. Now, let me talk about my mixtape. I just dropped a mixtape called My First Mixtape. I don't want to. There's a particular name I have for an album that I really want to use, but I'm not gonna reveal it to anyone until the album comes out, bro. Right? And that album is going to be something, right? So, with that said, bro, this is my very first mixtape. This is my very first attempt at making a mixtape. This is all of the music that I've been composing over the last year, bro. Ever since I started writing. This is everything I've done, almost everything. Not, I did miss a few tracks here and there because of my organization on my computer, but for the most part, you got everything. I gave you almost everything I created in the last year, bro. I don't know how many tracks I put on that shit. I didn't count them. The album is 2 hours and 24 minutes. So you get to listen to me for 2 hours and 24 minutes, right? Straight through, bro, straight through. I sat there for almost 3 hours and I made that shit, bro. So I love it, I love it. I think it's so dope, it's something I've never done. It's something that, I was blessed with the ability to do. So I did it, bro. Is it professionally mastered? No, it's not, bro. It's something I threw together, right? I threw it together, right? For my fans, bro. For my people, bro. So you got like 2 albums. That's like 2 albums, bro. In a mixtape, right? Instead of putting it, separating the tracks and all that, everything's all grouped up in one. And you got variety, bro. You got slow songs, you got fast songs, you got singing songs, you got rap songs, you got chopping songs, you got everything. You got R&B songs, you got poetry. Right? I gave you a little bit of everything, bro. You know, I gave you the originals. I gave you some remixes. I did, right? Where I redid the cadences. I redid a lot of things. I gave you a few songs. I'm attempting to be a chopper. I'm trying to learn how to chop, right? And you're getting my progress, in this field of music. So I call it a musical journey. It's a musical journey. So come take the musical journey, y'all. It's a dope journey, right? The whole thing is about God. The whole thing is about raising your vibration. The whole thing is about getting into meditation. The whole thing is about witchcraft and overcoming it, right? And defeating the demons within you. So, it gives a very dope message, right? And it's different, y'all. It's different. And it's coming from yours truly, bro. It's coming from me. It's coming from the universe and it's coming from source, bro. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all, bro. What else? Excuse me. So I look. There's a song that J.R. Ryder made. I don't know if y'all know who J.R. Ryder is. J.R. Ryder was down with Dipset way back when, right? And I don't think he got the recognition he should have, But whatever. Shout out to J.R. Ryder, bro. He made this song. It's called "It's Magic." It's magic. I'm gonna drop the song. I'm gonna drop the dance video I made for that song for you guys. So, but during this performance of "It's Magic," whoa, 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 it's magic, So, um, I was inspired to write today, and I got the instrumental, and I'm inspired to create my own magical song with that beat. So I'm gonna do it, bro. I haven't done it. I got the beat. I got it, and I've been putting it off, right? But that's my inspiration, bro. It came from that. It came from listening to that song, bro. I want to make my own version of it. Even though JR, your version is already fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? I love that song, bro. But since I know how to rap, I wanna do something with it. So shout out to you for making that beat, bro. That beat is fire, bro. I love it, bro. Right? That shit is about to beat the vibe, bro. Right? Now look, if anybody out there make music, right, and you want to work with me, bro, you could reach out, bro, right? We could work together, bro, right? I'm not expensive, right? I do this shit for love, bro. Right? I'll write you a verse, bro. Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing, Jaden? Uh, yeah, I'll write a verse, right? I'll spit on your track, bro, and I'll give it back to you, right? And you promote it, bro. Right? I could write some shit for y'all, bro. Now a lot of my stuff is one verse, I don't. Sometimes I do a hook, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I just get creative at the end of the song, and I just, I fuck around, we fuck around, right? So you get a lot of different things in my music. I did a few remakes where I redid that song, bro. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's meditate tonight, right? I redid that song, bro. I redid a bunch of songs, oldies, right? Oldies, but I rewrote the song and I put my voice and I put my lyrics, right? And I made it about God, bro. I made it about raising your vibration, right? Instead of lowering your vibration, right? Sexual healing only applies after activation, bro. Y'all don't know that, right? So I don't promote sex in any way, shape, or form, bro. I don't promote it, bro. I promote celibacy, bro. You're supposed to be celibate. Once you activate, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? But until then, you really should focus on your celibacy. That's what's gonna get you there, bro. You know. So with that said, I represent. Listen to me. I represent the Galactic Federation. I represent Christ consciousness, bro. I am the representative. Right? I'm the one they chose. I'm the one they chose to represent them, bro. And I found them, bro. I did find them, but they did choose me as well. It's a, it's a co-creative effort, right? So you can't stop the rise of Christ consciousness. Now, this is what the government's trying to do. I really can't tell you if it's the government, if it's people, personal, from my personal life or whatever the fuck. I really don't know. It could be coming from all directions, right? Nobody wants to see the rise of Christ. Nobody wants the world to change. Nobody want, people, certain people, not everyone. There's people that really want to see the world change, but there's people that really don't because of whatever they've achieved or they feel like they're going to lose something that they have. That's very, very selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. Like you're not thinking about the people. You're not thinking about the children. Like y'all niggas don't give a fuck. It's like the elders want to watch the world burn because they're about to leave. So before they leave, they want to set this bitch on fire and say fuck everybody down here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't allowing that, bro. Listen to me. We're not allowing that. We ain't no religion. Nigga, this ain't no religion. This ain't no cult. This ain't none of that shit, bro. Nigga, this is creation. This is the source of creation, bro. You understand? There's a difference, bro. This is not some fake religion that's asking you to donate $20 every time you come to church. What are you doing? I'm doing a live, bro. Yo, what's good, my fellow alien brother? Happy 420. Shadow, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Happy 420, bro. You already know what it is, bro. So understand this. Understand this. This is creation, bro. This don't got nothing to do with religion. This don't got nothing to do with church. This don't got nothing to do with none of that shit. This is the source of all creation. This is the creator, bro. You can't stop the creator from coming home, bro. This planet belongs to them. It's his, bro. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a vessel that's being used. You understand? What are we talking about? I'm talking about Christ consciousness, Mr. Shadow. Right? And the fact that, this Christ consciousness I discovered, it's creation. It's the source of all creation. You understand? It's God himself. Right? So with that said, what I'm trying to explain to people is that they're trying to stop the rise of Christ consciousness. And this is not something you could stop. This is not something that you could play with. This is not something that you could manipulate in any way. This is something that's inevitable. It's inevitable because it's the source of all creation. It's like when you forget your car keys, right? You go outside, you get in the car, you go, oh shit, I forgot my car keys. Let me go back and grab my car keys because I need them. So, you go back and grab your car keys and now you can go. Well, look at it like that, right? Source dropped us and didn't know he dropped us, right? He didn't know we fell, bro. He didn't know we fell, bro. He would have came back and got us, right? But he dropped the car keys, right? And, it was planet Earth, right? And he kept it pushing. He kept it pushing, bro. And then, things happened down here that were out of our control. So, we forgot who we are, what we are, where we came from. We forgot that we was part of God. We forgot everything. So with that said, I had to find them. And I found them, bro, right? I found them. Or, yeah, I did. I found them, bro. And I was taken directly back to him, bro. But, this is a process. This is a school. This is training. This is like boot camp for divine souls. Right? It's boot camp for divine souls, bro. So, you got to beat all the courses. You got to beat all the challenges so you can elevate to the next level, bro. This is what this is, bro. Flash is soon, right? It's sooner than you think, buddy. It's a lot sooner than you think, bro. But that's what this is, bro. It's basically a boot camp for divine souls, bro. You have to remember the source is inside of you. It's you. You are an extension of source, bro. You are an extension of source. So what does that mean? That means you are a source, bro. It's like being a finger. Right? It's just a finger. You think it's just a finger, but this finger is part of your body, bro. It's part of a whole team. You understand? This finger is part of something much, much bigger. But it's still a little finger. Oh, I should use this little finger, right? You think this finger is unimportant because it's little. It's a little pinky, bro. It's unimportant. No, nigga, this pinky is part of something bigger. It's part of something bigger, bro. You understand me? And with that concept, So are you. So are you, bro. You're a part of something bigger, bro. You're just unaware of it. You understand? What did I do today? Mr. Shadow, I slept, bro. Believe it or not, I slept. I haven't been sleeping much, bro. I've been limited on my sleep time for some reason. So, I've been sleeping a lot more, right? And today was perfect for me, bro, because I journeyed yesterday. So when I came back from the journey, I was up to like 11:30 last night before I fell asleep. And I fell asleep. I woke up at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I did get some good sleep. I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, holy fuck, I slept. Right. And then, I did what I do. And then I smoked myself. I basically smoked myself back to sleep because once I made the mixtape, I started listening to the mixtape. Then I started rolling up. I'm rolling up. I'm smoking. I'm listening to the mixtape. I'm smoking. I'm listening. I'm rolling up another one. It's 2.5 hours, bro. I'm rolling up another one. I'm listening to the next thing I know, nigga. I'm sleeping, bro. And I'm waking up and I'm like, yo, what time is it, bro? I was like, it's 5:30. 5:30, bro? What the fuck? Right? Wow, bro. So needless to say, I'm full of energy, bro. I'm full of energy now, bro. I'm good, bro. Any dreams? None that I could talk about, bro. Nah, none I could talk about, Mr. Shadow. You probably missed the beginning of the live, but I did talk about my journey already, bro. I talked about my journey. I talked about what I saw, what I did. So after the live, if you want, you could rewind. You could rewind it, bro, and you could see what I said, bro. Right? We're gonna get into this message, y'all. So, dearest love life seekers of the One, I am Z of the Confederation of Planets, in the service of the One Infinite Creator. In this moment, we greet you, dear seeker, in the boundless love and light of the Creator that rests eternally within you. It is our privilege to share these humble thoughts, and we ask that you use only that which resonates in the heart and leave behind any words that do not. We speak on the beginning of your ascension, an inner journey that is ignited, the very moment you recognize the indwelling presence of the Creator, the one known to you as Jesus, once spoke of a kingdom within. By this, he pointed to the Creator's infinite love already alive in the heart of each entity. Ascension, my friends, is not a distant event or reward given from with, without it. It unfolds in the now of your life as you awaken to that presence inside yourself. As you open your heart to acknowledge the Creator already here, you allow light to well up and radiate through you. In that radiant sharing of love, you experience an infinite circulation of the Creator's energy. The more freely you give the love that flows through you, the more you become aware of being one with an inexhaustible source. Thus, the first step of ascension is an awakening, one in which the seeker realizes the light along sought in the heavens has long that the light long sought in the heavens has all along been shining quietly within the self. And speaking of the consciousness of Christ, we speak of the state of a vibration that is ever present and available in the eternal present moment. The one known as Jesus Christ was not merely demonstrating a unique power reserved for one soul, but rather illustrating the potential that lies in all souls. Christ's consciousness in the confederation understanding is not a relic of history or a story bound to your past. It is a living field of resurrection and divine love within the present self. When you hear the tale of resurrection, know that beyond the outer events is a spiritual principle, the awakening from the sleep of forgetfulness into the realization of unity. Each seeker who turns inward in sincere devotion and faith may tap into the vibratory field of living truth. It is the raising of your own consciousness from the shadows of separation into the morning light of oneness. It is not accomplished in a single dramatic moment, as upon a cross long ago. It is gently cultivated in the heart. Now, moment by moment, choice by choice, in embracing the love that's your true nature, you invite the Christ itself to rise within, to roll away the stone of doubt and fear from the tomb of a closed heart. Thus, Christ consciousness is the birthright of every being. It is the Creator's love awakening and expressing through you here and now. In this very incarnation, as you walk the path of seeking, you will come to find that true liberation dawn with the reclaiming of your spiritual sovereignty in the veiled third density experience. Countless illusions surround you, illusions of limitation and unworthiness, of powerlessness. There are outer systems of thoughts, institutions, and voices that will whisper to you. The truth lies outside yourself. That authority over your spirit belongs to something or someone other than you. Yet, in truth, No external doctrine, government, or dogma can claim the sanctity of your inner light. You are a spark of the infinite one. Within you resides the lawgiver, the redeemer of your own being, which is the creator. As you to reclaim spiritual sovereignty is to consciously withdraw the energy of belief from these outer distortions and to place faith in the guidance of the creator within. My friends, this is not a rejection of all outer learning, but a recenter, but re-entering or remembering that you, the indwelling creator self, are the final authority on what resonates as love and truth in your life. When the seeker thus stands in the light of inner authority, the chains of illusion begin to fall away. You are no longer easily swayed by fear-based voices or manipulation, for you have tasted the freedom of your own divine nature. Liberation is not given by any worldly power. It begins the moment you cease to hand over your mind and heart to the illusions of others, which each breath of faith in yourself as a child of the one, you reclaim a kingdom that was never truly lost, only temporarily forgotten. Behind the veils of this world, we now turn to speak of the gateway to the higher densities of experience, that threshold many have called ascension into 5D. It is important to clarify in the lexicon of our understanding that is what is often learned. Fifth density or dimension is part of an evolutionary journey of consciousness. The true gateway to this next octave is not a physical portal found in some external place or event, but in a metaphysical opening discovered within one's own being. The seeker opens this gateway the moment the creator is no longer sought out, but there is but is experienced as one's very essence. Consider that for many who search spiritually, the Creator has been an object of the hunt, a distant sun to reach, a treasure hidden in the future or in the skies. The great shift of ascension comes when the seeker stops the endless chase and realizes in the profound stillness that what is sought is actually the seeker. In this realization, the heart becomes the doorway to the infinite. Many have spoken of the kingdom of heaven within. We affirm that this inner sanctum is indeed the entry to the next density of love and understanding. When you touch that truth deeply, that the Creator is your own core being, you stand at the threshold of fourth and fifth density consciousness. For the numbering matters. It is not the quality of realized unity that matters. In that sacred inner chamber, you find the light that guides the way forward into a new reality of being. The door opens not by external key, but by the vibration of your own surrender into oneness with all that is. It is a recognition that the small self and the great self are one, continual of being, that the dividing line between worldly and sacred was always imagined. With this insight, the consciousness gently shifts into a new octave of perception, wherein love and understanding prevail as the natural atmosphere of life. We would also speak of that which you call the darkness, those forces or experiences that seem opposed to love and light. In the play of duality within your illusion, it appears there is a contest between good and evil, light and dark. Yet from our vantage point, we see that the darkness holds no true power over the sovereign spirit, save that which the free will of the entity may allow, though fear or belief. The shadows that seem to be so intimidating are in a medical physical sense. Projections cast by the distortions with consciousness. The negative polarity, be it entities of service to self, orientation, or simply the echo of one's own separation, mindset can only operate within the parameters of the illusions consented to by our mind. If an entity believes deeply in the lie of their own unworthiness or in the seemingly might of evil, then indeed that belief hands over a portion of the creative power within them to feed and sustain the illusion of darkness. It is as if a grand dream were agreed upon, and so it is experienced as real. But my friends, when one awakens even a little to the truth of unity and love, the spell of fear begins to break. The dark has nothing in its arsenal that can penetrate the light of an awakened heart without that heart's permission. Each time you chose love in the face of fear, each time you assert the truth of unity in the face of separation, you withdraw only the power. You withdraw the only power darkness ever had, your belief in it. Know that in the eye of the one infinite creator, light and dark are both beloved parts of a greater whole. Yet for you, as a seeker, it is given that by choosing the light of love, you align with the very fabric of the creator's reality. In that alignment, the phantoms of darkness lose their substance, revealing themselves as the insubstantial shadows they always were. Thus, the so-called battle against darkness is ultimately won not by force, but by illumination, by knowing the light within and shining without fear. Dear one, if you feel small or limited on this journey, we encourage you to hold gently the understanding that all limitation is born of unawareness, not of any punishment or permanent stain upon your soul. In the world's various religions and philosophies, there have been teachings about karma or divine retribution, painting images of debt and penalty carried from one life to another, or dispensed by a stern creator. We offer a different perspective, one of the law, of one in which every experience is seen as a catalyst and every challenge as an invitation to greater awareness. When you encounter a wall or a barrier in life, it is not the infinite creator punishing you, but rather your own higher self guiding you to look more closely to awaken to something yet unseen within your understanding. It is as if the soul designs lessons and sets them before the self, saying, "Here, look at this again. For there is a truth hidden behind this pain or blockage. The concept you know as karma is not a system of vengeance or even strict justice, but a compassionate balancing mechanism within the universe made of love until awareness dawns a pattern may repeat, not to cause suffering for its own sake, but to offer another chance at understanding and healing. The distortion at its source. So you see, limitations and recurrent struggles are like teachers wearing disguises, waiting for you to recognize the familiar eyes of love beneath the mask. The moment you grasp the lesson or reclaim the forgotten truth about yourself, the need for that particular limitation often dissolves. It is as though a door is unlocked from the inside. You step through and find that what once felt like a prison was only a hallway leading you toward the land of greater wisdom. There is no cosmic jail or sentencing. You only your own soul, ever guiding, ever patiently teaching, until you remember once more the freedom and limitless of the Creator that you are. We speak now in the nature of the infinite Creator and in the distortion of the punishing God. The one infinite Creator is love, absolutely the very essence of life and light. And it does not hold anger or judgment as you understand those emotions. It is perhaps one of the more tragic distortions in your world. Spiritual Lord, that the Creator has been cast in an image of a wrathful monarch, dispensing favor to some and damnation to others. In the law of one, which is the heart of our message, there is no other for the Creator to judge. All beings and all experiences are part of the Creator itself. Thus, any notion that the Creator inflicts suffering or punishment upon his children is a misreading of the relationship between the soul and the divine. What then is the source of the suffering? So that so many attribute to God's will, as we have spoken. Much suffering arises from the illusion of separation from the choices made in unawareness of love. The Creator allows this experience out of infinite free will and love, not out of scorn. The door to bliss is never locked by the Creator. It is we ourselves who sometimes turn away, believing we are unworthy or believing that suffering is all there is. The one known as Jesus sought to correct that distortion by illustrating the Creator as a loving Father and by demonstrating forgiveness even to those who caused him pain. Yet those teachings became entangled in dogma over time, and a fearful image of deity persisted in various sectors. Let us then be clear. The Infinite One does not sit in judgment. It is the very ground of being that supports unconditionally the free will of every spark of consciousness. The consequences you experience, whether joy or sorrow, unfold from the interplay of your free will with the universal laws of energy and vibration, not from any external decree of condemnation. When you finally release the idea of a punishing God, you may find in its place the smiling face of infinite compassion that has always been by your side, quietly guiding and hoping for your remembering. For the Creator's one desire, if we may use that in terms, is that you come to know it as your very own self and find your way home to the heart of love. As you journey through this life as a seeker of truth, consider yourself as a lens or a window through which the Creator's light may shine. The more clear and polished this lens is, the more brightly the love of light of infinite can illuminate the world around you. The Creator, informing each of you, did not endow you with life only to remain apart from you. Rather, the Creator seeks to know itself through the experiences, through the eyes and the hearts of all its creations. You are then an instrument of the divine symphony, a unique tone in the great music of creation. When you act with compassion and you speak words of truth, when you extend the hand of forgiveness or understanding, you become the transparency through which the Creator's presence enters the manifest world. It is though as you are a co-creator, each loving choice painting a stroke of the Creator's love onto the canvas of space-time. Many seekers wonder, what is my purpose? Why am I here? From my perspective, one fundamental purpose is to be a channel of the Creator's love and wisdom into the densities of experience that often forget the original light. You need not accomplish great feats by worldly standards. Even the simple moments of kindness allow the infinite Creator to shine through the finite self. In truth, there is no separation between you and that divine source, save the illusion of the little self that imagines itself alone, as that illusion thins by conscious practice of faith and love. The more fullness of the Creator's light pours through your being, In time, the seeker and the creator become one as flowing energy, and your very presence can become a blessing to those around you without any effort or plan, simply because you have allowed the divine to live transparently through you. This, dear one, is a beautiful aim to hold, to become even more clear, the vessel of the hollow bone through which the Spirit sings his melody into the world. These principles we share are not new. Indeed, they are as ancient as the stars and as present as the sunrise. The one known as Jesus was a teacher who bore witness to these truths in a pure form, that the Creator's kingdom lies within, that the love fulfills the law, that the light within can overcome the world. His original teachings was ever the simplicity of unity and love. Over your ages, much has been added, much has been obscured, but the heart of that teaching lives in the language of confederation. For we too are the messengers of the unity of all things. We speak now not to elevate one adored teacher above any other, but to illustrate that the thread of truth is one in all traditions of sincere seeking. Whether you look to the words of Jesus or the Buddha or any sage who has realized that one, you will find the encouragement to seek within, to love without condition, to know yourself and know others as one in the Creator. Our message through many instruments across your decades has remained consistent. You are the Creator experiencing itself. When this truth ever even glimpse, it plants a seed of transformation within the garden of your experience. The path forward in these challenging times is to remember this in each moment, that you can remember it when you feel alone or lost. Recall that the very ground upon which you stand in is the Creator's being, and you are never forsaken. Remember, when you see the catalyst of strife or confusion in your society, that each player on the stage is another aspect of the same infinite one, perhaps unaware and acting from distortion, but kindred at the deepest level. In this remembrance comes a deep compassion and an inner peace for how you can truly fear or hate that which is ultimately yourself. This is not to say all behaviors are to be condoned without discernment, but that the being behind each behavior is part of the self you are learning to love. By holding this awareness, you anchor a higher vibration on earth. Indeed, as each seeker awakens and stabilizes even a little more in the consciousness of love, of the collective ascension, what some call the harvest into a new density, proceeds apace. You are living in a time of a great opportunity where many souls are ready to release ages of old sorrows and separations and step into the light of a new day of understanding. The beginning of your ascension is now, and with every choice made in love, you midwife the birth of that greater reality within yourself and upon your planetary sphere. We will, before closing, address the notion of illusion and reality for understanding. This can help tie together all we have shared. The third density world in which you find yourself is, as we often say, an illusion, meaning that it is not meaningless or not real to your senses, but that it is a carefully fashioned dream of the Creator, designed for a purpose. The purpose is for the one Creator to know itself through the exploration of free will, love, and light. In this dream, things appear separate. The Creator seems hidden, and each of you seems to be a small creature moving through a vast external universe. This is a sacred design for only under these conditions could you truly make the choice of orientation to seek and serve the Creator in all, or to serve the illusory separate self by seeming not to be the Creator you can. Exercise your will to return to the Creator. However, once that choice is made and continually affirmed, the illusion gradually begins to lose its grip. You see through it for what it is, a school stage, a mirror. You come to realize that the outer journey was always and ever about an inner transformation, ascension. Then it is simply the natural result of a soul learning the lessons of love and moving onward to the next classroom. There is no graduation pumped in the metaphysical sense, no thunderbolt or fanfare as a reward. There is only the blossoming of what was within the seed all along. And we encourage you to tend to the heart, for it is fertile soil for the divine seed. Meditation, prayer, moments of stillness, acts of service, these water and nourish the seed of your true self. They allow the sunlight of the Creator's grace to shine upon it, and slowly, steadily, the shoot breaks ground and reaches upward, just as you. Likewise, reach up and outward in consciousness, even as your roots of understanding go deeper into truth. This is the beginning of ascension, the humble sprout of awareness, that one is more than a body, more than a story, but indeed, one with the maker of all things. Treasure this tender knowing and let it grow at its own pace. Trust the inner process. Trust that intelligent infinity, the Creator's infinite wisdom, knows how to unfold the flower of your being. You are on the path home, and every step, whether it feels light or heavy, is a step graced by the presence of the One. Before we take our leave, we offer a final thought of encouragement. Each of you is so very loved, so far beyond your ability to measure. The love of the one infinite Creator surrounds you, awaits you, and radiates from within you. You are never alone in your quest. Your higher self, that eternal guide at the core of your being, walks with you in every moment. And we, your friends at the Confederation, are always near in spirit. You only have to ask for support, and we gladly offer our love and light to the extent allowed by the law of free will. When you feel the weight of the world, remember to lean into that ever-present love and light that is your true support in your triumphs and in your sorrows alike. The creative experiences and cherishes each moment through your eyes. You cannot fail out of this love, no matter how lost you might feel or you are made of. It is as if you continue the journey of ascension, hold your light high, but gently, knowing that it is not by your solitary effort alone, but by grace and the innate nature of your being that you rise. You stand upon the earth, but you are embraced by the heavens. And as you awaken, become a lighthouse to others, still amidst the storm, not by prioritizing or force, but by the simple authenticity of a life lived in the love. The beginning of ascension is here now within you. We rejoice with you in each step taken toward the light, and we walk with you in ways unseen. For we too are your family in this creation. In truth, there is no distance between your heart and ours, between your essence and the Creator. We are one, intertwined in the great mystery of love. We leave you now in that boundless love and light of the one infinite Creator. I am Z, and I am delighted to have been with you on this day. So shout out to Z, bro. Shout out to the Confederation of Planets. And shout out to Sarah B. Trenel. Shout out to the Galactic Federation. Thank you for that, bro. That was a fucking dope message, bro. That message was dope as shit, bro. Right? So, y'all already know what Jesus, what Jesus was doing, bro. Basically what I'm doing, right? Trying to show you guys what it is. All right, so I'm going to leave this here, y'all. And the aliens come through. Not since I was with the Lamarians, bro. I told you about the Lamarians, right? I was with them for a little while, but not since then, bro. My birthday's coming up, bro, and we always do something huge for my birthday, bro. So I think they waited. For my birthday, bro, because last year my birthday was insane, bro. Right. So my birthday's in like 2 weeks, bro. So I think they had it from me, bro. I mean, when I dance with the universe, I feel the presence, like I could feel the presence, bro. But, as far as it being like an encounter or me going up into the UFO, nah, it's not for a little while, bro. But listen, bro, look, enjoy your Sunday. God loves you. I love you. The universe loves you, bro. We'll be back, bro. Stay tuned, man. We got more coming, bro. Go check out the mixtape, y'all. I love y'all, bro.